everybody, I hope we're all well. So today I want to talk about zodiac signs. Now we can't possibly cover the entire topic of zodiacs in one video, or even probably 100 videos. So I'm doing a brief introduction to everybody's sun signs, and that is your star sign that you were born under. This is going to be a 12-part mini-series, each covering a separate star sign. So by all means, flick to your star sign, or if you're interested in learning a little bit about each one, then start from the beginning. Now this is the first video in the set, and we will be covering the sun sign Aries. I will eventually move on and do moon and rising signs as well, but for now we are just sticking with sun signs. Now firstly, what are star signs? Star signs are based on the star alignments that are in our skies. There are hundreds and thousands of these, but we have picked our 12 houses to guide us. Every year we have that age-old question of what about Ophiuchus? Ophiuchus is a star alignment, however it's not included in our zodiac signs. Our zodiac signs are solely the 12 houses, and this is just Western astrology. I'm not going into Chinese or anything else, this is solely Western astrology. If we included every star sign, star alignment that is in the sky, you would have hundreds and thousands of zodiacs for one day. So that is why we just stick to the 12 houses. So let's start. Aries sun sign covers the dates of 20th of March to the 19th of April. Their element is fire, and they are the first sign in the zodiac house. Their birthstones are topaz, heliotrope, aquamarine, jasper and diamond, and their power colour is red. Being a fire sign, that kind of makes sense, right? Aries are known to be an incredibly honest sign. In fact, I think they're classed as the most honest sign of all the houses. Their honesty can get to a point of brutality, so don't be asking for opinions unless you want a straight to the point truth being told. A lot of people see this as their downfall, but others, such as like air signs, they'll really appreciate it and they'll value their dedication to like living an honest life. The Aries symbol is a ram. It is the sign of pioneering and leadership. It's associated with inspiration and motivation, boldness and courage, and pushing through any obstacles that may come up in their way. The name Aries is actually Latin for ram, not as in a ram like a goat. It's like a battering ram, which makes sense because it's used to push through things. Aries is also based in the spring equinox, so it represents a big change, just as the seasons do. New life and new cycles, all things like that. And that's why if you look at their small symbol, it's a stalk with two circles coming off. Now, not only does that represent the ram, horns of a ram, it also represents a new shoot and a new plant. And it is the symbol closest to God. In fact, it's described as the point of light in the mind of a god, that first spark of creation, that original concept. Aries are known to be really passionate, highly motivated, and they have great leadership qualities. Some famous people that are Aries are the likes of Lady Gaga, Pharrell Williams, Elton John and Ewan McGregor. Now, the stereotype of an Aries is headstrong, independent, they're like a type A personality, but they are also the mushiest, most romantic sign in the zodiac. Aries will fall in love so ardently and so completely, unashamed of how much their beloved means to them. What makes Aries so strong historically is that they keep putting themselves out there all the time, in people's faces, and just loving to love. They're also very good at putting themselves in hot water. So they're pretty strong because they come up with a lot of survival methods mentally. They are really good at putting them in situations that they don't understand how they got in, but they will sure as hell get themselves out of it again. This sign really stands strong due to sheer nerve. They will survive and they will thrive. That is just solely the Aries way. So let's move on to the planets and the star signs. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of action. According to ancient Rome, it's the god of war. It's all about energy and passion and self-starting and bringing yourself up from nothing. They have absolute undeniable confidence in themselves and what they can achieve. Aries constellation is actually located in the northern hemisphere. It's usually associated with the Greek mythology story about the Golden Fleece, and it was first catalogued by a Greek astronomer, Ptolemy, in the 2nd century. It's the 39th largest constellation in the sky. It takes up 441 square degrees, and it lies within the first quadrant of the northern hemisphere. Babylonians identified Aries as the agrarian worker. It's like the last stop on the ecliptic. The name of the constellation later changed to the Ram, but why the Babylonians changed it, nobody actually really knows. In the 7th century, Neo-Babylonians did a revision of the Babylonian zodiac that placed Alpha, Aries and Hamau very close to the vernal equinox, and that is how Aries came to be so prominent among the zodiac signs in the astrology. In those times, Aries contained the equinox. That's the point of when the sun crosses the equator from north till south. But because of the precession of the slow wobble that the Earth has, the vernal equinox is no longer in Aries, it's actually in Pisces. But in 130 BC, it was located just south of Gamma Arietis, and that was taken to be the starting point of the zodiac where the two crossed. That's Aries, and that's why Aries is the first zodiac sign in our 12 houses. Now, in Greek myth, Aries is identified with the golden ram that rescued Phrixus and took him to Colchis, where he sacrificed the ram to the gods. Now, the ram's skin he placed in the temple was the golden fleece, and that appears later on in the story of Jason and the Argonauts. Phrixus was the son of the Boeotian king, and he also had a twin sister called Hel. The children had a stepmother, Ino. Ino is her name, not that I know. She hated them and she wanted rid of them. So Ino came up with a plan to rid herself of these stepchildren. And that plan was to put the land on the brink of famine by making sure all the wheat crops and such failed. So when a man was sent to consult with the oracle at Delphi, Ino bribed him to lie and say that the oracle had asked the king's children to be sacrificed in order to save this famine, and they do not want people to starve, so they did it. Phrixus and Hel were about to die. They were about to be sacrificed when a winged ram with golden wool came to their rescue. The ram was sent by their real mother, the cloud nymph Nephele, and it took both of the children and it flew east to Colchis. But only Phrixus survived the journey. Hel actually fell off of the ram and drowned in the Dardanelles. Now, that strait was later named Hellespont, or the Sea of Hell, in her memory. Phrixus was welcomed by King Aeetes of Colchis, to whom he presented the golden fleece too. And in return, the king gave Phrixus the hand of his daughter in marriage. So next we'll go through some of the traits of an Aries. Now, Aries children, they're very passionate, they're creative, and they're really, really restless. They seem to have more energy than any other children, and with a love of life that is matched only by their really natural bravery. Those of us that are born under the Aries sign can sometimes get a bad reputation for being brash and starting conflict, but the truth is there's a whole lot more to Aries sign than just being confrontational all the time. So they are really natural born leaders. They know how to take charge and they know how to lead people to victory. They can be downright fearless in the face of danger, They aren't wimps in the slightest. They are ultra resilient, incredibly brave, and when it gets real, they don't buckle under the pressure. They do have quite a rebellious streak. They prefer to do things their own way. That doesn't mean they won't do it how it's been asked or how it needs to be done, but they're definitely happier doing it the way that they suggested or they come up or they feel would work better. They really keep it real. They've got zero time for BS. You'll always know where you stand with them. There's no guessing when it comes to them. If you've upset an Aries, they will enlighten you on that pretty quickly. Furthermore to that, they're really good at sniffing out a liar, and it makes them really incredibly loyal friends and lovers. You can be sure they're the like ride or die type of people. Once they've got your back, they will have it till the end, but don't cross them. They are pretty opinionated and they don't mind voicing those opinions loudly. They're really outspoken and they're very vocal and they won't be silenced, and they're also not frightened of telling you the God's honest truth. Just other people telling you what you want to hear will not sit with an Aries. They will tell you exactly what you need to hear. So that being said, they are pretty two-sided. They can either be really sweet, kind, loyal, passionate, all these things, pushing for goals, or they can be the absolute devil. If you betray an Aries, get ready, because they're really quick to give you a taste of your own medicine. They do not mind giving back to you, just as you did to them. They are ultra competitive. They do not give up without a fight. They're fierce opponents in any sense of the word, and they do not back down. Do not challenge an Aries lightly. They do have quite a sensitive heart, so you shouldn't play games with it. And when their heart is broken, it takes them an awful long time to overcome emotion. And they go through all of it. They'll go through rage, sadness, all of them. And it takes them a long time to heal and move forwards. So if you are challenging an Aries lover, be ready. Aries are also quite impatient. They do not like to be kept waiting. They'll get really frustrated with people who are terrible timekeepers, even people who are slowing them down, walking or anything, in the car, things like that. Typical road rage. They're always restless, they're always on the go, and they hate people and obstacles that stop their momentum. However, they are an absolute blast to hang out with. They are so much fun. They're energetic, they're enthusiastic, and they can turn the most boring events into an absolute riot. They hate repetitive routines. Dull, boring, day-to-day jobs. They get really stagnant. They're just not for them. They need difference all the time, and they'll do their best to keep things as different as possible. So, Aries can be quite short-tempered. They are very good at hiding their emotions. As I said earlier, if you've upset one, you'll know about it. They don't hide their annoyance and their anger very well at all. In fact, everyone will know about it if an Aries is upset. They can explode out of absolutely nowhere, but then they do get over it just as quickly as it appeared. Don't be surprised if mid-argument an Aries sits down, turns the TV on and asks what you want to watch. Once they are done with an argument, they don't drag it out. They are done. See you later. Not interested anymore. They are extremely driven for success. They are the go home or go hard type of people. They're not afraid to take bold chances. They don't mind the odd risk. They have no safe route out of anything. They just have absolute nerves for steel, and they batter ram through anything in their way. They're also quite positive people. They really focus on the good, and they don't count their losses that often at all. They understand that stuff just happens, and that's the way of the world. They don't dwell on any bad stuff or sweat the small things. They'll enjoy the good that life brings them, and that's it. Which means they don't get on so well with negative people. They'll get really frustrated by them. If you're a type of down on their luck, life won't go right for me person, don't expect an Aries to hang out with you for too long. They're not one to feed an energy vampire. Instead, they'll just back off and go and be happy in their own emotions. having said that, they are thoughtful and they do look at both sides to anything. They'll take the time to process something. If they've upset somebody, they'll take a step back and go, well, hang on, was it me? Was it them? And they'll work through things and work out where things went wrong. And if an apology is required, they will apologise. If the other party needs to give an apology, they'll also let them know that too. They have a very intense personality, and the way they love is with a lot of passion and energy as well. When they find someone they really love, they tend to latch on and not let go until they get what they want. Now, their most compatible zodiac signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini and Aquarius, so fire and air signs. The least compatible are Capricorn, Cancer, Virgo and Scorpio, earth and water signs. And the opposite zodiac sign is a Libra. Now, just because your sun sign is an Aries doesn't necessarily mean that your most compatible is an Aquarius. Sun signs actually don't have a lot to do with romance. They have more, moon signs have more to do with your love and your romantic side. So if you are going into it, find out your partner's moon sign, because that will give you a lot more answers than their sun. So altogether, if you're a positive person who doesn't mind the truth, then an Aries is absolutely a friend for you. They are a ride or die friend. They are straight talking, directive and assertive energies, and they don't get knocked down by life. Sol Aritis Signum. So this has been the first episode in my Sun Sign Zodiac 12 mini-series. As I said, you by all means look through the videos and find your own zodiac, or if you're a little bit more interested, go through all of them. Please make sure you watch out for the moon and the rising signs, which I will eventually post. Thank you.